Do you consider yourself a conservative?
Yes.
And you'll acknowledge that Destiny said conservatives should fear for their lives to go in public?
Yes, I will also add to the fact, hold on, stop. I told...
Was the killing of Charlie Kirk justified, Connor?
No.
Do you think that conservatives should fear for their life to be in public?
No.
Do you think that you should actively work with and support someone who thinks that?
Not without criticism, no.
So as long as you criticize someone saying that, then it's legitimate that you work with them and get money and get clout from them.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Okay, so if Sarah, for example, co-hosted a show with a neo blank, one of those people with, big fans of the Austrian painter, if she co-hosted a show with him, it made millions of dollars and promoted him and went to college campuses with him and buddied with him and introduced this gentleman to her mother and did all of those things, right? But at the end of every show, she said, by the way, I disagree with you. You'd say that's perfectly reasonable. You wouldn't question whether or not she was connected to that?
No, but I'm going to go ahead and give you a perfect counter example, and you've already been talking for a minute, so I would like it if you indulge me a little bit. Cultured Thug is one of the most intelligent political philosophers that I have met in recent memory. He is a fascist. He believes in political corporatism, flexible authoritarianism, and political corporatism, and he believes in ethnogenesis, okay? If Cultured Thug contacted me, because he is charismatic and he is funny, and he says, Western North Carolina needs disaster aid, and I want you to come help pass out water bottles. I'm going to West, and I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to Western North Carolina in order to hand out water bottles, and I don't give a fuck that he's a fascist, because the shared goal is something that I care about.
And so your goal, correct me if I'm wrong, this is what you've said, your goal working with Destiny. I've seen you give two arguments. It was like pulling teeth, but you've given them. One was because you need to work with him because it would take you 10 years to accomplish what you want in your channel without him, correct?
Yeah, yes. I work with influential people to gain influence. Rob, so you do the same
So
thing.
you need to work with Destiny, who's saying that conservatives should fear for their lives in public so that it helps your channel accelerate faster. That's that argument.
Okay. Rob, you work with Andrew Wilson.
He hasn't said that people deserve to die.
Hold on. You are acting like working with influential people is some kind of pejorative. It's not.
It's different. Working with influential people can be something that Destiny is. He's certainly influential.
But then
Ted Bundy was influential. Would you have worked with him?
I asked you this on Twitter. Okay. Do you think Stephen believes in the Constitution of the United States of America?
I don't know if he believes it or not. I would suggest strongly no.
I think he does.
I think strongly.
Have you thrown your lot in with a pedophile who tried to overthrow the Republic of the United States of America?
I don't believe he is. You do. Do you believe that Destiny said that conservatives should fear for their lives?
Yeah, I heard that.
Do you believe that Destiny is an immoral sex pest?
I think that Stephen's sex past or sex life is immoral.
Did you say that, quote, when talking about this, that no one is more sex negative than you?
Yes.
So that would imply that you find what he's done to be very egregious when it comes to his sexual activities.
No. So
you don't.
Let's parse this.
Okay.
Okay. What Stephen is accused of doing, and by the way, did they kick everybody else? Or
she put us up one-on-one.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
It's a lovely speed date for the two of you to get to know each other.
All right, it's fine. Okay. So what Stephen is accused of, which obviously I morally condemn, is he is accused of sexting a girl that he believed to be 18 or 19, who lied about her age, who created homemade pornography, shared it with him, and he shared homemade pornography with that other person. Now, on the scale of things, yes, this is bad, condemn it. I hate promiscuity. I think sharing fucking homemade pornography with random fucking people is cringe, disgusting, gross, whatever, okay? However, if you compared that to Andrew Tate, somebody who sex trafficked women and forcibly raped them, I'm not going to pretend that Stephen and Andrew Tate are the same.
Well, okay, no one would pretend those the same, but nonetheless, that doesn't force you. That doesn't force you to work with the person that you don't think's as bad as Andrew Tate. I'll ask one more specific question about Destiny's sex life. The only reason I bring it up is because you specifically said that you found it grotesque. If you would have just said, I don't believe it or it's not a big deal to me, then I wouldn't even address it. I don't give a shit. But you're the one who said that
Hold up. You think that I can't work with people with whom I disagree vociferously about their personal lives?
Well, it's one thing to disagree with personal life. It's another thing to think someone's grotesquely immoral and work with them. I'll ask this last question. Do you think, I'll ask this last question because I really find this part of it to be the least interesting part. If it does turn out that he has videos of someone who's under the age of 18 still saved on his computer, would you continue working with him because he's influential?
No, but I'm gonna go ahead and caveat that. Okay, if he had solo making allegations in November 29th of 2024, and he did not believe those allegations, and he held on to it as a part of his legal court case, and then once it was alleged with confirmed information via Kiwi Farms, he put that on a thumb drive and he says, I believe that these people were creating homemade pornography that is illegal. Here, law enforcement, do what you want with it. I think that I don't give a fuck.
The caveat on you working with him if he has underage pornographic material is
Rob. I don't want you to moral grandstand because I want you to understand this. I want you to understand this real quick.
I was trying to move on from the point.
There's a qualified difference between holding on to evidence related to a case and turning it over to law enforcement the second that you know it's illegal versus holding on to it for your own gratification.
Sure, there are reasons it would be different. Right? I think both reasons. I understand they can be different. It doesn't matter. The point I was trying to get is the fact that you said
it does matter.
It doesn't matter if you would listen to me. Listen, Connor. I know.
Versus a legal process. Are you going to start? Rob,
how do you know
what you're doing?
What was the end of my sentence? I was going to say
because you're morally grandstanding. Because you're morally grandstanding. You're trying to conflate.
Yell a homophobic slur next. Get Sarah's channel banned too. Go ahead. Now, if you would listen, what was the sentence I was going to finish with when I was going to say it doesn't matter because all I was trying to get you to admit is there are things that Destiny could do that you would say, despite the fact he's influential, I don't want to work with him. But you wouldn't let me get that last part of the sentence out. Instead, you spurred out over and over. So now that you've admitted, now that you've came to the position, now that you've got, I understand your tactic here. I understand your tactics here, Connor. I get it. I don't give a shit. I'll keep talking to you. I understand your tactic. This is what I know you learned from your daddy, Destiny. Like, I understand this is what you do. You're just going to talk over me because you're incapable of actually listening to the point and debating. I don't give a shit. I'm not going to stop talking. I'm tired of this. You keep talking over me. You're going to allow me to finish my point. You're going to allow me to finish my point. I don't give a shit.
Boys, that's enough.
I would like to make a point.
I would like to finish my point.
One at a time.
I don't care about your point. I would like to make my point first.
All right. Listen, we're gonna go one at a time.
I have like 3 more minutes worth of shit, then I'll leave.
One at a time.
No, I would like to make my point.
Go ahead, baby.
You go on your thing.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, if you're being good faith, you'll recognize that effectively what I'm doing is I'm consenting to an interrogation. You're speaking for 2/3 of the runtime, and then I'm answering your questions. Then you're jumping to your next question. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with you like interrogating my values, virtues, questions, whatever. But if I have a point to make, or if I feel like you're asking a question that implies something, I'm going to interrupt you in order to point it out. And if you're not an asshole, you'll let me do it.
Okay, thank you for adding that point that you needed to get out that rubbed nothing for this whatsoever. Now that you've admitted that there's things that could be done, now that you've admitted that there's things that you could do, that someone could do that would make them, even if they were influential, you not want to work for them, I have a couple more questions. Do you consider yourself a conservative?
Yes.
And you'll acknowledge that Destiny said conservatives should fear for their lives to go in public?
Yes, I will also add to the fact, hold on, stop. I told you that you're running an interrogation and I want to
just make your point. The meta shit's irrelevant. Go.
Okay. So stop interrupting. So the entire context of that sentence, which I disagree with, which I've spent 5 hours criticizing, is the fact that he said that conservatives should fear for their lives going to public events and should fear being killed in order to pressure their leadership to turn the temperature down. That's the full context of the quote.
Yes, I understand the context of the quote. He wants people like me
and other. Say the context of the quote.
Let me finish. He wants people like me and people that are conservatives, including you and people in your family that presumably be conservative, to fear for their lives. And he has a rationale because he thinks they should do that because he doesn't like the way he votes. I find that to be despicable. The fact that you're willing to work with a man, let me finish, and then you can finish your point. The fact that you're willing to work with a man who said this, who said the following thing: the worst thing that could have happened was the assassin's bullet not hitting Trump, who said many times that he's tired of conservatives and wants them killed. The fact that you're willing to work with a man who said that, and your argument is, but I have to do it for clout and for money, shows the despicable character that you have.
Okay, so I would like to make a point. There are, as a matter of fact, I've made beautiful drawings. I would love it if you reacted to my drawings, Rob. I'm going to go ahead and pull one up, okay?
Oh my
so
God.
I would argue that I was raised with probably 5 political philosophies, okay, that all are variants of conservatism that support what the Republican Party used to believe, okay? What I would argue is that it's Burkean conservatism, environmental conservatism, neoconservatism, social conservatism, and fiscal conservatism. All 5 of these philosophies have been supported by Nixon, Teddy Roosevelt, Reagan, et cetera, et cetera. I can articulate with perfect clarity how MAGA and Donald Trump have backstabbed every single one of these philosophies. Not only can I say that they have backstabbed and shit on these 5 separate philosophies, they are also contributing to deaths that maybe not you, but other people absolutely fucking laugh about with reckless abandon. Donald Trump, through the PEPFAR cuts, is projected to kill 3 million people through AIDS. He is projected to kill 11 million people through cholera, through dengue, through malaria over the next 5 years in order to save 0.16% of the federal budget. And then he slashed taxes, meaning that he didn't even save any fucking money. He just is projected to kill 14 million people. Not only that, conservatives have laughed as they have deported people without due process to a fucking gulag in El Salvador. And then they've laughed as innocent people have been tortured. And so I'm not exactly in this whole fucking perspective of, oh, let me clutch my pearls because Rob's mad at me. Rob's mad at me because I'm not a Trump dick sucker. I don't give 2 fucks. I think that your movement, American Nacho, every conservative who sweeps for Trump, I think that you are fucking stupid as shit. You make the world a worse place, and I can't wait to beat you at the fucking ballot box.
Okay, so 2 things. Well, 3 things. Real quick.
Let me
respond. 1, you were hired by Progressive Victory and these other places to do a good job. How'd that work out? You beat us at the ballot box, right? Oh, wait. Good spending of that money, Progressive Victory. You got your Why do you have to interrupt? I sit there and let you here we fucking go. Here we go. Are you incapable of controlling it? I'll talk over you again. I don't give a fuck. You're incapable of leaving me make a fucking point. It's ridiculous, Sarah. You know it's ridiculous. You know it's fucking ridiculous. You know it's so stupid.
Rob, finish your point.
Right. Like, so I let him talk for like 3 minutes unfettered. I'd like to get my points out, right? Like, constantly he complains about interrupting when it's only him doing it, right? Second thing that I wanted to say, all of that is a rambling nonsense that is something that's a false dichotomy. And the argument is, you find Donald Trump to be despicable, fine, great. You're allowed to think he's despicable. You're allowed to call yourself a conservative, not vote for him. 2 points, no problem. The difference is working with someone who says all of this heinous shit. Notice what Conor did was not answer for the fact that he says, yes, he disagrees with it, but Destiny did in fact say that he thinks conservatives should fear for their lives based on who they vote. He didn't answer. He didn't answer the fact that he knows Destiny said the worst thing that could have happened was that bullet killing Trump or missing Trump. He didn't answer for the fact that he said several times heinous things about wanting conservatives to die. It's not that he's voting for that guy begrudgingly. It's that he's working with him, admittedly, for money and clout. Not only is he working for him, it's not something he's doing begrudgingly. He's introducing Destiny to his family. He wants you to believe that it's like, I have to. It's me. I'm the big man. I have to get this clout and money. And I have to work with Destiny, who said all these terrible shit, because only I, Conor, and only via working through Destiny can I stop the great orange man. It's hubris, it's nonsense, and it belies what's actually happening, which is Conor wants money and clout. That's what this is about. And so he's willing to work with someone and then make these false dichotomies. But Trump's a really bad man. The last thing I'll say is this. I'll ask you this question, Conor. If you seriously believe that because of Donald Trump, 3 million people will die, would you be morally justified in taking him out?
Because, no. And the reason why is because we had a vote at the ballot box, okay? I think that while 3 million people dying from preventable disease is horrific, and the fact that you just sidestep that is repulsive to me, at the same time, I think that democracy is the worst form of governance except for all the other ones. And so what happened was you and your ilk, because you're stupid and you don't understand politics, you don't understand words, et cetera, you are, through your vote, 170 millionth guilty of that sin. I'm not guilty of that sin. That's your cross to bear. So as a result, all I can do, hold on, I'm going to make another few points. All I can do is I can advocate and fight for within the realm of politics for people to see the world that I do. And by the way, one of your points is so asinine. It's unbelievable. You're saying, oh, you didn't win this election. I guess you shouldn't participate in politics anymore. I'm sorry. When Donald Trump lost in 2020, did you give up on politics?
No, I'll answer that question.
Not.
I'll answer that.
Dumb point.
No, because there's two big super chats. I do want to read them. Conor, these are coming over, I believe, on your side. The devil says, that's weird to say, dark money enjoying Conor holding up the mirror.
Hail Satan.
And
loud bind that in the name of Christ.
Loud scissors again over. Pardon me.
I want to make another point when the super chats are done.
Of course you do.
Sure. Loud
yeah,
scissors
I like talking,
says,
Rob. I'm here to talk.
Oh my God. This is your money. I want to read it for you. Loud Scissors says, Rob got blown out by Destiny over Obama, and that is why he is obsessed.
That's not true. I would suggest there's one person that's probably getting blown out by Destiny, and it ain't me.
Cope more, Rod.
Oh, man. On target.
Okay. So this is one of the things. This is why this insult is not landing on me, okay? Is because we work within a democratic republic. And guess what clout is? Clout is popularity. Do you know what money is? Money is energy. It's the ability to take energy and spend it towards things that you believe in. So you say that I want clout. You're saying that I want popularity within a democracy. That's true. Do you know what you also say? You want money. You're right. I want money because I want energy in order to spend it on things that I care about. Not only do I want to take care of my friends and family, which I don't think you begrudge me for, but I would also love to do things. I'm in a little political group called the Real Republicans, and we're coming up with crazy ideas on what to do with this money in order to make the world a better place. So the fact that you think that I'm just snorting these fucking drugs or I'm running a second family or banging hookers, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. You're criticizing something that everybody within politics does. And by the way, do you know what politics is without clout and money? Do you know what politics is without influence? It's having an opinion. I'm not interested in having an opinion. I'm interested in politics.
Okay, I'll answer this. I wonder if that group you're in with those Republicans, your super cool Republican group, if they too fear for their lives like Destiny wants when they go out, right? Won't that be great? You can't control yourself. You absolutely can't control yourself. It's pathetic.
Everybody be quiet.
Right? Like, it's absolutely pathetic.
You're a pussy.
I'm not a pussy. I'm directly addressing. I come in and debate you at any time. You're the person that had to rage quit last time after spurging out homophobic slurs. You're the person that's so much of a. There you go.
Rob.
There's the.
While you're taking the high road, did you say something about my wife? Did you say something about my wife, Mr. Man of Honor?
Yes. Do you want me to answer?
Yeah. So don't take the high road with me, Rob. Nobody believes me.
Now I know it's difficult.
I prefer to keep the personal stuff off the screen if we can. I don't want to hear anything about anybody's life.
You bring my wife or you bring my family into it. You bring my honor into it. I'm going to call you the F slur. And if we were in person and you said that shit to my face, it would get personal.
I'm going to answer this. Your wife publicly called me gay several times.
Hey, bro,
I addressed it.
What the hell?
Would you? No, listen. I'll leave the panel. I'll just leave the panel. I'll leave the panel. This is what it's going to be. I'll leave the panel. This is what it's going to be. I can't address this. I can't. All right. We'll see. We'll see, you guys, if that's how it's going to be. But I think it's fair game. Constantly, Conor interrupts as I'm trying to talk.
Constantly. And I'm trying to shut it down, but nobody will shut up so that I can shut you up.
So I'm making a point. I didn't go after Conor's family just willy-nilly. I went after a person who I wasn't treating as an inferior because she came after me first. I didn't know Conor's wife.
Care,
I don't care. Shut up, Brick.
Really
no one asked you.
No,
shut up.
You shut
up. Shut the fuck up, Brick.
Shut me up and face her.
Get up. Gargling fucking Conor's nuts and shit.
We all want to talk, Clay. Shut up.
Shut up.
Rob.
If someone, regardless of their gender, decides to call you names or enter into the debate, it is appropriate to respond in kind. That's it. She kept talking about my genitals and what I was doing with other people's genitals, and I merely made the point that she seemed oddly interested in me and genitals. If that upsets Conor, then clearly he should tell his wife that she shouldn't be making those sorts of comments. He made the homophobic slurs knowing it would get the channel banned and didn't care. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that he rage quit after that, and as he shows his cowardice here by needing to constantly interject. So I make the point that he's working with a person person, everything that he's saying here is a non sequitur. He's making the same excuse that everyone that engages in a corrupt way in politics does. I had to embezzle the money because money is power and connections, and therefore I had to do it so that I could achieve my political goals. I remind you, there's an answer that Conor could have done. He could have chosen to work with someone who's not calling for people that are Republicans to fear for their lives when they're out in public. He could have worked with someone who wasn't saying the worst thing that could have happened was the assassin's bullet missed Donald Trump, or many other things that he said like that. He chose not to because through his own hubris, he's trying to make excuses that he needs to be the one that steps up and gets this clout so he could stop Donald Trump. Of course, I'm not saying that because you lose in politics that you don't compete anymore. What I'm saying is when you sell your soul to work for people this disgusting and then you still don't win, it should cause some self-reflection.